In this video, we are going to download and install the Java JDK from Adaptium on Windows machine using non-admin user. So without using the administrator rights, we are going to install the Java JDK manually from the zip file without using the installer. And as you can see, I'm going to install it from the zip file. And once installed, we can check the Java and its version. And once we set up the Java at the system, we will also configure it in the IDE, in one of our IDE, and make sure that it works properly. And not just that, we are also going to have a mechanism wherein we can install multiple Java JDK version on our machines, and we'll be able to switch back and forth between multiple versions. As you can see now, I have got the Java 25 as the default version, but I also have the ability to switch to Java 21 on demand, so that if we have a few projects in Java 21 and some of the projects in the latest Java 25, we will be able to configure multiple projects with various versions and be able to work in the same machine without any conflicts. And yeah, and similarly in the IDE, individual projects will have individual Java versions. As you can see, one of the project is with Java 25 and the other project will be with Java 21. So we are going to cover the step-by-step installation and configuration of multiple Java versions in this video. Please do watch till the end. Thank you. Welcome to Pair Programming with Harish. I am Harish Kannarao. In this video, I'm going to make a detailed walkthrough of how to install Java on Windows as a non-admin user. So you might be wondering why we should install as a non-admin user, because in some of the enterprise environments that I've worked, the developers are given a Windows user without administrator access. So which means it's quite restricted, and we have to live and install the tools and software as a non-admin user as much as possible. So that's why having a way to install Java as a non-administrative user frees you up without having to rely on an administrator to install Java and configure the Java for the development environment. So let's get started. So in this video, I'm going to download the Java binary as a zip file from Adaptium. So the Adaptium is the JDK distribution from Eclipse organization. So they are the creator of Eclipse IDE from Eclipse Foundation. And they do release distributions for different operating systems from Linux, Mac, and Windows. So we are going to look at installing for Windows. So the link will be available in the description, and some of the commands that I execute will also be in the description. So this is the URL to download the JDK from the Adaptium. So the latest LTS version of Java is 25. So I have chosen the latest LTS version, but we do have other older LTS versions like 21 and 17. So now I am going to start with the latest version 25 for Windows. And once you choose the values in the drop down, you can see there are two options available. One is the zip installation, zip file, and the other one is a MSI, which is an installer. And when you try to install in restrictive enterprises like banking environment, the installation will be restricted or forbidden. In such cases, we will just have the zip file either downloaded directly from the Adaptium, or in most cases, the platform team or the DevOps team will have the binary stored in the internal artifactory for security scanning and vulnerability scanning. So we will have the zip file available to us. And from once you have the zip file, either from the internet or from your internal repository, we can proceed from there. So again, from Adaptium, we have two flavors. One is the JDK and the other one is the JRE. For production runtime environments, we will need only JRE, but we are now going to set up the Java for development environment. Hence, we will go with the JDK option. So once you click on the download, you will have it available. So just to save time, I have already downloaded Java 21 and 25, but first we are going to install one version of Java and make sure that version of Java is available through command line as well as available to the IDE. So I will begin with Java 25 or JDK 25. So I'm going to create a folder called tools in my user directory. So let me go to my user directory. So the Windows is my username. So hence I have a directory called Windows. So within this directory, I'm going to create a new folder to store the JDK. I will call it as tools. So the reason for choosing the home directory is because it's best not to have any spaces in the path where we install the JDK. So having a path is always a trap. So best is to avoid it. So my personal recommendation is in the home directory, create a directory called tools. Under this, we can have one single version of Java or we can have multiple versions of Java as we are going to see in this video. So I'm going to copy the zip file from my downloads directory to the newly created tools directory. So paste it and I'm going to extract it now. So I'll go with the default name. I'm not going to rename it, but feel free to rename and give a shorter name if you like. Yeah, the extraction takes about less than 20 seconds. So we'll wait for the extraction to complete. Okay, extraction is done. So as you can see, we have a folder with the same name as the zip file. Let's go into the folder, and the folder contains the JDK. So this JDK directory is actually the Java home, which contains bin and conf and other libraries. So let's go one step above. The first thing we have to do is for installing Java, some of the legacy tools still needs a environment variable called Java home. So I will right click on the JDK directory, copy as path, and go to the Windows logo and type environment. So here we have two options: edit environment variables for your account, and the other one is edit the system environment variables. So since we are assuming ourselves as a non-administrative user and with restrictions in terms of installations, we should choose the edit environment variables for your account, not for the system environment. When you go into the system environment, it'll need the administrative access, but whereas for account level environment variables, it can be non-admin user. So I will click on the uh, account level environment variable, and this has got two sections. One is the user variables for Windows and the system variables. If we have to modify the system variables, we do need the admin access, but for user level variables, we don't need admin access. It can be done by ourselves. So the first thing we have to set for Java is a new environment variable called Java home, all in uppercase, Java underscore home. And the value should be the value that we copied, the actual location of the JDK directory, but we have to remove the double quotes, the surrounding double quotes. And since we don't have any space in our path, I'm removing the double quotes altogether, both from the beginning and the end. Click OK. And the next thing is we have to include the bin directory. As you can notice, the Java home directory contains multiple directories under it, the binaries called in the short form called bin, and libraries and other things. So here we have to include the bin directory in our path. So to do that, let me go back to the edit environment variables. I might have accidentally closed it. So yes, I had closed it. So let me redo it again. So we need to include a new environment variable called Java underscore home with the value, and we should remove the surrounding quotes. Okay, and we have to click on the path with capital P and click on edit, and here we need to include the bin directory. So I will click on new, and the new environment variable that we have included, java underscore home percentage backslash with lowercase bin, enter. So this bin directory is now included as part of the path. So click on OK, click on OK. So now we have added the Java home directory, and we have included the Java home bin directory in our path. So let me open the terminal to verify if the changes has taken effect. So go to all and scroll down for the terminal. So in the terminal, the first thing we have to verify is if the environment variable has taken effect. So type env colon uh, java underscore home. So now you can see that the place where we had extracted the Java JDK binary is properly set. So the next thing to verify is the Java version itself, whether it's available as a executable. So Java space single dash version. Now you can see that it is working, and it has got the Java 25 version that we had downloaded, and it's the Temurin. It's the JDK that we had downloaded from the Adaptium. So that part is all good, and the Java in home is also set, and the Java executable is working. So let's try to configure it in one of our IDE. So my favorite IDE is IntelliJ Community Edition. So if you are launching your IDE for the very first time after Java installation, we will have the launch window. So let it start. So this is the launch window that you will see in IntelliJ if you are launching it for the very first time. So here, if you click on new project, if you wish to create a new one, so you can give the name of the project, and there is a drop down for JDK. So if you click on the drop down, you can see that the IDE is smart enough to detect the Java directory based on the Java home environment variable. But if for any reason, if you don't see the environment variable appearing, all you can do is add JDK from disk and navigate to the location, my user home directory. One step above, you can see the windows, and we had created a new directory called tools. Go into the open JDK 25, and this is the Java home, and select folder. So we should be inside the Java 25, but we should not choose any folder. It should be the parent directory of the bin directory. Select folder, and now you can see that if it didn't appear, yeah, it appeared twice because one was auto detected and the other one is I had chosen. So we can create a new project with the newly installed JDK available in our IDE. However, if you already have a project opened, then you might not be seeing the launch window. In that case, just for the sake of completeness, you can click on the menu. As with the IDs, it's a bit slow because of my virtual machine, and the IDE itself is trying to detect the local JDK. So it is trying to be smart, but if we have to add it manually, click on the menu, choose the file option. Oops, still processing. Okay, so click on the menu, go to file menu, project structure, and let me just remove it. So there is a platform settings with SDK. So here you have the add new JDK plus icon. Click on it and it's the same thing. It either automatically detects it, or if you want to explicitly choose from the disk, choose the add from JDK option and navigate to our home directory, Windows, Tools, and the Java home. I had chosen the JDK 25, select folder. Oops. Yeah, you can see that Temurin 25 got added. So now you can go back and click on the project, and here you can choose the Temurin 25 and choose the language level as the SDK default. Okay, so you can see it got refreshed and now it has picked up the Temurin 25. And since it's available, I can also just verify if I can successfully run the program. I'm running a test, whether it's running a Java main program or running a test, it has no difference. As long as it has picked the right Java version, it should just work. So the project is building and it should launch the test with the right Java version. And not just on the IDE, even if you open the integrated terminal within the IDE, that should also pick up the same Java version. So let's verify that. It's the same PowerShell that's wrapped within the IDE with some niceties. So still starting the test. Okay, as you can see the Java 25 version. The test is run and it's successful. And in the meantime, let's also verify the Java version in the integrated terminal. All good. So till this point, we had installed one version of Java and we had configured the Java both in the terminal and in the IDE. But in real life enterprise environments, there are practical situations where we have to work with multiple Java versions at the same time. For example, as we started now, the latest LTS version is Java 25. However, we could have new projects, the old projects which were created with Java 21 at that point, but they might have not been migrated because enterprises will have hundreds of repositories, and we will not get a chance to migrate all repositories at the same time. So we used to do a gradual migration. So till all the migration is done, some of the projects will be in the older version of Java, like Java 21, and the new projects that we work on are actively being updated. They will be on Java 25. So as a bonus extension, I'm going to cover how to install multiple versions of JDK and be able to isolate each project with its own Java version, as well as in the terminal, we will have the option to switch back and forth between different versions of Java. So now let's move on to the second part, configuring multiple versions. As we had downloaded Java 25, let's try to download the Java 21, which is one previous LTS version than 25. So at this time of recording, Java 25 happens to be the latest LTS version. So going back to the drop down, let me choose Java 21 for Windows. Oh, okay, so this value got reset. Let me choose the Windows, and you can see the zip file for the Java 25, Java 21. So I have already downloaded the zip file for 21. So it's in my downloads directory. So let me copy this one, copy, go back to the tools directory, one step up and up. Yeah, so here let me paste the zip file. It's in the same location, so both Java 25 and 21, they are going to be co-located. So right click and extract all. So it's going to extract in the same directory. So the tools directory is going to contain the JDK binary for both Java 25 and Java 21 together. So the extraction will take 10 to 15 seconds. Okay, it is extracted. So now let me go into the Java 21 extracted directory. As you can see, it contains the Java JDK 21. So if we have to make a permanent switch to Java 21 instead of Java 25, just copy the path and go back to environment variables, where we can update the environment variables at user account level. So here, since we have already added the Java home bin directory in our path, all we have to do is edit the Java home and paste it. However, we have to remove the surrounding quotes. Okay, and click on OK. So the old terminal, we have to just restart the entire terminal. Now let's check the environment variable. $env colon Java underscore home. So now you can see it has picked up the Java 21 directory, and likewise if I execute the Java itself, it has picked up the Java 21 version. So this is a permanent change, which means even if I do a restart or if I open new terminal, reopen the terminal, it's still going to use the Java 21. So if I have to switch back and forth between Java 25 and 21, I have to go back and update the environment variable, the location of the Java home environment variable, and then reopen all my terminal to take effect. So this is where it gets bit non-productive to keep going back and forth and then reopen the terminal. Instead, now I'm going to create a user function that will allow me to toggle between Java 21 and 25 seamlessly without having to close and reopen the terminal. So that's the bonus part. So I will capture these commands in the description, but I'm just copy pasting from my notes. So in order to create the user function, the first thing we have to ensure is add some user functions to the profile directory. So you may have the profile file or you may not have. The first thing is to test it. So if I test the profile, it already has it. So I want to do a clean start because you may have or you may not have. So for that reason, let me remove the existing profile file, but you don't have to remove it. So if you already have it, that's absolutely fine. All we are going to do is edit it. If it doesn't exist, as you can see, I have removed it. Let me test the path again. It says false, which means I don't have the file. It does not exist. So create the profile file, and now it exists. So we can edit the file using our notepad or any text editor that you prefer. So the basic is the notepad, but if you have VS Code or TextPad++ or Notepad++, please feel free. So here I'm going to create two functions. One is the function to toggle for Java 25. I will call the function as set dash Java dash 25. So I will copy the first function, and this function, it's very simple, and it has got two commands. One is to set the Java home to the directory where we have got the Java 25 binary. It should be the home directory. So the parent directory that contains the bin directory. And once the Java home is updated, we will prefix the Java home along with slash bin directory to the path environment variable so that everything becomes Java 25. Likewise, we will have another function like a sibling function, copy, which will have a name called set Java 21 with curly braces. It does the same thing except that it's going to set the Java home environment variable to Java 21 directory, that is the Java home directory that contains the bin directory. And once the Java home is set, we have to update the path environment variable with prefixing the Java home along with the bin directory. And when these two functions are pasted, save it and close it. Once it is done, if you have created the profile file for the very first time, there will be we have to make it executable. So to do that, we have to update the execute policy for the current user. And again, all these commands are run as a non-administrative user, so it doesn't need to be an administrator user at all. You don't have to put the password, or you don't have to ask your system administrator. So set execution policy for the profile. And finally, so the changes are done, the user functions are saved. But since we are in the same terminal which is open previously, we have to refresh the profile, dollar profile with all uppercase, dot space dollar profile. Once it is done, we have the functions available. So let's test it. So before we invoke the function, let's verify the environment variable, dollar env colon Java underscore home. You can see it's pointing to Java 21. And let's try the Java executable version. So Java version points to Java 21. So fine, so far so good. So now we know what is the function name. The function name is called set dash Java dash 25. So now we don't have to restart the terminal or anything. All I'm doing is set dash Java dash 25. Once it is executed, like no errors. So now let me repeat the environment variable. As you can see, now the environment variable is pointing to the Java 25 home directory, and likewise the Java version is picking up Java 25, not 21 anymore. So if I have to go back to Java 21, so similarly let's invoke the function Java set dash Java dash 21. Once it is done, let's verify the Java home. It is back to Java 21. And if I execute the Java binary, it is Java 21. So without having to reopen the terminal or update the environment variables and all those things, we are able to switch back and forth based on our convenience. So if I open the new terminal, it will fall back to the environment variable set in the Windows. So yeah, as you can see, if I set dash Java dash 25, the Java version is 25 only for this current terminal. If I close the terminal, reopen it again, it will switch back to the Windows default Java version, which is Java 21. That's the global default version for Windows. Yeah. So if I have to permanently switch back to Java 25, then the option is simply go to environment variables. Yeah, user environment variables. Go back to Java home, edit. So you can browse the directory as well. So rather than doing a copy paste, let's try this option. So it's my username, Windows, and navigate to the tools directory, Java 25 and JDK 25. So the parent directory that encloses the bin directory, that should be the one. Select OK. So now you can see we don't have the double quotes issue. So it has directly picked up the Java 25. Select, click OK, OK. And now let's try the through the terminal. So now the default global version of Java is 25. So if we have to switch to Java 21, set dash Java dash 21, invoke the function, and now the Java version should be 21. So with this pattern, not just two versions of Java, we can install any number of Java or JDK version in our Windows as a non-admin user, and we can have the user functions to conveniently toggle between Java versions. So not just only on the terminal, even in the IDE. Let's say I have another project that needs Java 21, a older version of LTS. So let me open it. So both these projects will be isolated in a sense that go to file menu, oops, too fast, project structure, go to the SDKs, and here the IDE right now has got only one version of JDK, which is 25. Click on plus, add JDK from disk, and navigate to the user's home directory. Not this home, it's the user's home directory, one step above, and Windows, tools, and the older version of Java, Java 21, the parent directory, not the bin. So it's the parent directory, and the ID is refreshing. Yes, now we can see it has got Temurin 21 and 25. And for this particular project, for REST Data RabbitMQ project, I'm going to choose the Java 21 and set the language level as the SDK default. So click OK, and if you expand the external libraries, you can see it's picking up the Java 21. So let's confirm by running a test or a program. So we have two projects, one that uses Java 21 and the other project uses Java 25. So likewise, even in IDE, if we have more than two versions of Java for any legacy reasons, we can have a number of versions without stepping on each other, and both these projects are properly isolated. So it's building, so let it run. Excuse me for the slowness, because the Windows itself is running as a virtual machine within the Mac OS, so it's a bit slow. Not the IDE itself that's slow, it's just the computing power. So in the meantime, you can also see that the existing project still uses the Java 25. Let's run one of the tests here and then go back to the other project. It's still doing the analyzing. Dismiss. Did it run? It's initiating the build. Okay, yeah, it has run. So okay, so close, very close, come on. Okay, so the test is launched and it is launched with Java 25 and the test is success. Likewise, if I go to the sibling project, the test has passed and it was run with Java 21. So let me just rerun it again. This time it's much faster. The test is starting and the launch was done with Java 21. So now you can see I can work with multiple projects with the different versions of Java without any conflicts with each other. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you.